All right, class, welcome back to English 1301. Let's talk about where we are and what's happening as we continue our journey here through the semester. Class, the first thing that I want to talk about is the drop date. We have a drop date on November 10th, and I'd like to explain that right now a little more in depth, class. If you stay in the class or in the class after November 10th, you're going to receive a grade in the class, okay? This is why I try and help my students to let you know it's so different than high school. So say you're failing the class, and after November 10th and towards the end of the class that you're failing the class, I can't give you any other grade but the grade that you've earned, okay? So after November 10th, if you're failing the class and you do get an F in the class, you will receive an F on your transcript. If you average as a D in the class, you will receive a D in the class, okay? Now, up until November 10th, you can drop the class. You can drop the class and take what's called a withdrawal if you need to, okay? One of the great things about a withdrawal is it doesn't affect your grade point average, okay? So if you get a W on your transcript, that just means that you've withdrawn from the class and you get to take the class again. During my time in college, there were times when I had to withdraw from classes. I'm just trying to help you. One was the junior year when my father died. God rest his soul. I took a couple of W's that semester because I needed to take care of the family. He died unexpectedly, God rest his soul. And I had to get him buried, and I was a junior at the university. Took those W's because I couldn't quite get through that semester, but the very next semester I was back in college at the university because I kind of did it to honor my father. My father had never gone to college, and he really never made me do anything in regards to school, but he was proud that I was at the university. And so I was right back in it. And it didn't affect my GPA, my grade point average. So say, for example, you're having a tough semester this semester and you haven't done your work. Like there's some students, I've gone through all my records because I'm grading 7 days a week, and they haven't turned in a memoir. If you didn't turn in your memoir portfolio, my suggestion would be drop the class. You're not going to pass it, okay? And then so the next time you take this class, you'll ask yourself, how am I going to do things differently? Because it'd be really hard to be a success in this class and not do the work, all right? So I'm just trying to help students that way. That would be my suggestion. And then when you take the class again, you know what you need to do from the beginning of the semester. Don't set yourself up for failure. Set yourself up for success. That's just my suggestion. So before November 10th, if you drop the class, you take a W and you're done with it. After the 10th, I'm going to have to give you a grade in the class, right? This is where it's different than high school. You're only going to get the grade that you've earned. If you didn't do work, goes down as an F or a 0. Okay? It's as simple as that. And we'll talk more about that. So be thinking about that where you are. In class, wherever you are, don't beat yourself up. I've already had a few students I've talked to this semester who have said, Mr. Welsh, it's a very tough time I'm having. Say, all right, it's most probably not the time for English 1301. Drop it Because I'll go through my records. I see, you haven't turned any work. You had 2 major portfolios to turn in. Don't once again beat yourself up. Just be honest with them. Take the class again when you're ready to do the work, right? Because there's always next semester. So keep thinking about that drop date on November 10th. Before November 10th, if you drop it, cool. You get a W in the class. After the 10th, no matter what happens, if you're staying in the class, you're going to earn that grade that you receive. Okay? You're going to earn that grade that you receive. So be thinking about that, class. I'm here to help, not to hurt. All right? So we talked about the drop date. Class, let's move on now and talk about where we are in the semester. Class, we have a review essay due, and I'm here to help you with that. For my in-person classes this semester, and once again, the 9 a.m. classes, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, section 11918. The 10 a.m. class is 11923. Excuse me, and the 11 a.m. class is 11934. You have a deadline for me on this review essay for November 4th. Okay? November 4th is your deadline for this essay. Now, my 2 online classes, section 11901 and 13855, since we're on a different schedule, like a Tuesday, Thursday, even though it's an online class, your due date is the 8th of November. Now, once again, what are you going to turn in on those days, on those due dates, the 4th and the 8th? You're going to turn in exactly like you've been doing it this semester. A rough draft, a final draft, and a writing center verification. Okay. Make sure you go back. A lot of students have it wired by now how an essay needs to be formatted. I've seen a lot of improvement. It's going to look exactly like your other 2 essays. You're going to have the exact same ingredients as your first 2 portfolios: first draft, final draft, writing center verification. Classes, you remember, if you don't have those ingredients, I can't grade your portfolio, right? Say once again, the writing center is slow getting some back to you. Get what you have in on time, and then I work with students. I'm here to help students, okay? Remember that these essays are 700 to 1,000 words. I had a student, it was unbelievable. She kept sending me a 2,000-word essay. I can't grade a 2,000-word essay, right? That's not my requirements for this class. I will grade it. I told her, edit it. I'm only going to read 700 to 1,000 words. That means if it's 1,020 words, I'm not going to grade it. That means if it's 600 words, I'm not going to grade it. I will once the directions are followed. 600 words is not enough information there. Okay? 700 to 1,000 words. That gives you 300 words in there to grade. And so once again, I help students. I had another student recently send me a 1,700 word essay. I said, you know what? I will grade this 700, edit it. All right? Edit it, get it back to me, and I'll grade it. But once again, part of college is, certainly in college, is following directions, just like life. We follow the directions so we can get through it. Class have read a lot of good work this semester. A lot of good profiles. So far as I'm grading these profiles, grade A- to F. A- to F and everything in between. All right? Very good, class. Very good. So there, you know your deadlines, either the 4th or the 8th. Once again, and we'll deal with that, class. First draft, final draft, writing center verification, 700 to 1,000 words. 700 to 1,000 words. Very good, class. Class, let's talk about these review essays that you're working on, that I've given you the reading assignments on. I've discussed them in class from my in-class, and now we need to do a major lecture for all my classes in regards to the essay. So basically, in essence, excuse me, what it is the evaluative essay. You're going to write a review for me, okay? So that means, class, that you have to do something specific for this assignment, right? For this class. So, and what is it based on? It's based on, class, once again, criteria. How do we come up with 3 or 4 judgments in order to evaluate something? Criteria from the Greek standard, a rule or test by which something can be judged. Class, a measure of value by which to judge something. So, say for example, and we've discussed this in class, but now we get to discuss it with everyone. We're always in these positions of evaluation. Every day we review things. Review the way we look, review movies, review the radio we're listening to, review music, review ourselves and our clothes. We're always in these places of reviews, of evaluation. And you're going to write an evaluative review essay for me. Okay? So, criteria. How do we judge? What do we use to judge things? Okay? So, this semester I've been evaluating your work. What do I look to in order to justify a student grade? Class, once again, I look at, first thing I pull up when I see that the student has turned in all the work, just the 3 items: first draft, final draft, writing center, vacation, then verification. I look up that final draft and I look at the format, right? A lot of students have it down by now, right? Is the format there? Does it look like the essay format for MLA, Modern Language Association? Does it look like the essay that I've given you this semester? That's how professional college level essay looks. Is the title in good shape? Is it underlined? Is it centered? Do we have double spacing throughout? Check these things. How are your name, section number up in the upper left-hand corner? Once all that's done, class, I grade the essay. And the bottom line is, excuse me, class, every essay I grade, I treat the same. Every student, I treat the same. I give the same attention to every essay and every student. All right? So then I have to start grading it. What do I look for? How do I justify? How do I evaluate a student's essay? Format, first of all. How does it look on the page? Is everything there? And then I look at it in regards to paragraphing, in regards to content, in regards to flow, in regards to organization, in regards to, say, once again with these profile essays, dialogue, in regards to, once again, grammar, in regards to punctuation, in regards to capitalization, okay? And then with all those issues that I look at, sentence structure, etc., then I can just, excuse me, class, justify a grade for my students, right? So, and before you turn in your work to me, you do an evaluation of it yourself, okay? And look over all those items that I just talked about, hopefully. So class, one of the things is we have to have these like For example, for anything we're going to review, like 4 standards by which to review something. Okay. So once again, we're talking about, say you wanted to write a review of a job. What 4 items could you review a job on? And if you had to write an essay about it, how would it shape up? So class, reviewing a job. You could review a job on, number 1, pay. How much money are you making for what you have to do? Number 2, environment. What is the environment like that you work in? Talk about it. And under environment, things like management, things like workers. Think about the actual physical environment you're in. Rate it. Let us know. Is it good, bad? Specific details. Class. Number 3 would be scheduling. Scheduling is very important for college students. Okay. Is your boss working with you? Scheduling has to be real important for any college student that has a job, because what's got to remain number 1 in your life is college. If you want to make it, can you make it? Yes. I've had a lot of students. I see them all over town that have taken me over the years. They come back to town. Hey, Mr. Welsh, what's going on? I'm working in Austin. Mr. Welsh, I graduated from UT Austin. You taught me English 1301. Mr. Welsh, I graduated from Texas Tech. Mr. Welsh, I went to Columbia University in New York City. Mr. Welsh, I'm coming back from Princeton. Mr. Welsh, I just got my doctorate degree at Yale. Mr. Welsh, I graduated from the University of Texas at El Paso. And now I've got a prominent, things like that fill my heart once again with joy. Jobs. These are jobs after students have done it, but in order to get there, in order to get those degrees, college has to remain number 1 in your life. And then you do whatever you can to get through it, right? How hard is it? Takes discipline, takes time, takes a ton of work. Can you do it? I've seen a lot of students do it. But once again, it's going to be up to you. So, scheduling is very important for college students. Make sure that whatever job you have in college is that your boss is trying to help you get through college and not trying to stop you. And then class, also check everyone in your life that you hang out with. Are they trying to help you get ahead? Or do they want to sabotage your dreams? That's why if you've got a loser boyfriend or a girlfriend, get rid of them. You need to be hanging with people that are going places. You need to be hanging with people that want you to succeed, that want you to come up, okay? There's always going to be people around who drag us down. Don't get drugged down. You're my college students. What do I want for you? The best, right? Always ask yourself, who's trying to help me and who's trying to hurt me, right? Who doesn't want me to go places? So even look at that in regards to your own family, because sometimes there may be people in your own family that don't want you to succeed. You got to be hanging out with people that are going places. You got to be hanging out with people that want you to succeed, that will build you up. You got a boyfriend or a girlfriend that's trying to tear you down, get rid of them. You got a boyfriend or girlfriend that are not trying to kick ass in life like you, get rid of them. You need people who are going to say, hey, I'm on this journey with you for success. And then along the way, you'll hit the bumps in the road like we all do, right? The more we try and the more we go for it, we all got to know about or face success and failure. Even your professor, Mr. Welsh, who faces it all the time still, right? Because I'm a writer. I'm a professor and I'm a writer. And I'm hustling. I've published 13 books. I've won major literary awards. I've had my work in 300 publications around the country. But I'm still working. I'm still coming up. I've got a lot I still want to do. I can't have people trying to tear me down, right? And with that, I have faced failure. I know rejection. A lot of it, tons of it. People telling me no. But then over the years, some people have told me yes. So we keep going. So scheduling in a job. Make sure that you keep college number one. Make sure that you have a boss. They're trying to help you come up in this row and graduate from college. And then finally, class, under that, any job could be viewed in regards to benefits, especially when you start getting serious jobs, when you're out in your career. Does the job have health insurance? Does the job have a retirement plan? Does the job have long-term disability? Does the job have, what sort of retirement plans? Then class, once again, you could judge any job on that. Any job. Here's how you would do it. Here's how you write a review. A simple way. You come out, you tell the reader a bit about what you're reviewing. You give some background information. Then somewhere in the first paragraph, and if not the first paragraph, certainly the second paragraph, you give them your thesis statement where you say, hey, this job is either good or bad or a combination of good and bad. And then each paragraph after that, back it up with details. That's what any reader wants. So if you're going to tell me this is a lousy job, I want to know why. First transition paragraph, pay. Details. Specific details about it. Once again. Pay. Next paragraph, transition. Environment. Details. Your essay, 700,000 words. Transition out of that, class, scheduling. Let us know. Transition, benefits. Transition, conclusion, you're done. All right? 700 to 1,000 word essay evaluating something on 4 major, once again, criteria or standards. All right? Specific details. One of the things I've been noticing, class, as I continue to grade profile portfolios, I've read some good ones. Sometimes the difference between a B and an A portfolio, especially if a person has the writing going on, is specific details. And I've read some good portfolios and some clean writing, and some of these I'm like, person's talking about a date and time or a place. They're not mentioning the place. I don't know. Am I in El Paso here? Am I in Texas here? Or they're talking about a school and they don't mention the school. What school is it? Where are we? What's going on? Where is this person from? Because I'm reading your essays and so details. And I've read some good profiles. Some of them I'm just wondering, this is flowing, but what the hell is going on here? Where are we? Where are we? Are we in Texas? Are we in El Paso? Are we in Massachusetts? Are we in Cleveland, Ohio? Are we in Cincinnati? Are we in Juarez? Are we in Cuernavaca? Are we in Los Angeles, California? Some details. I've read some good work. So, there's your review essay. 700 to 1,000 words is what you're going to turn in. Class, like I said, I've read some good work. Details. Let us know. And then, class, when you do these, make sure that, once again, class, you always, did I bring a notebook with me? No, I didn't bring one of my notebooks. It's in the other room. I always have them with me. But, class, whatever you're going to review, make sure that you have, once again, pen and paper. If you're going to do a restaurant review that we're going to talk about in a minute, you go into that restaurant with a little paper in your back pocket or a little tiny notebook and a pen. You got to take notes. You always got to get the notes, because that's where, once again, the information is. You got to hit it with those notes. And so you get the information hot for this assignment. I had a student asked me a couple years ago, she said, Mr. Welsh, I had seen Los Tigres del Norte a year ago. Can I write a review about it? I'm like, no. You got to write a review of something you do specifically for this assignment. So you didn't go to Los Tigres del Norte a year ago as a reviewer on assignment, so you missed a lot of those details. But what I told her is, you know what you could do? Say you want to stream one of their concerts online through your computer or on your TV, and maybe they made a film about that concert. Or maybe it was filmed, or another one was filmed. Like, say, Los Tigres del Norte live in Sinaloa, or Mazatlan, or Cuernavaca, or Española, New Mexico, or El Paso. And you can stream that concert. You could write a review of that, right? And as you're doing it, notes, you know. And once again, what would be the criteria for doing a concert review? Sound, liveliness of the performers, music quality, set list. Was the band on? Was the band off? Let me know the specifics of that concert and whether it was a good concert or a not so good concert. Because we can't go to everything. That's why we read reviews. Okay? That's why we read reviews. So, class, on this handout I gave you, starting on 408, it says writing a review. And I'm going to talk about here about the possibilities of what you could review for me. There's a lot of things. On here, I had a student a couple years ago who was over 21. He said, Mr. Welsh, and he could write. A little while, I talked to him. I liked him a lot. It was back before the pandemic. He'd been in some trouble with the law, and we talked about that. But now he was in class at the age of 24, and he could write, and he was smart. He wrote a great memoir and a great profile for me. So now it's time for the review. He said, Mr. Welsh, he stopped me one day in the hall after class. He said, Mr. Welsh, would it be all right if I reviewed? I'm thinking about writing a review of a malt liquor I've never drank. I said, you could do that. You could do that. You're over 21. Drinking isn't illegal. What are you thinking about reviewing? He said, Mr. Welsh, the Mickey's Big Mouth malt liquor. They didn't always sell it in Texas, but they do now. And then he asked me in the hallway, do you know anything, Mr. Welsh, about the Mickey's Big Mouth? I said, I do. I could lie to you and tell you I didn't, or I could tell you I do. I know it intimately, but that was as a young man. That was a young man's game. I haven't touched anything like that in almost 30 years. But I said, yeah, I could almost taste it when he was telling me about it. So he said, what should I do? I said, buy a couple of quarts. Sit down with it. Give me 700 to 1,000 words. And let me know how good of a malt liquor you think it is. But I told him this. Do me a favor. Because we had already talked and I knew he had been in some trouble with the law. I said, don't go out driving after you get a couple of quarts of the Mickey's Big Mouth malt liquor in you. I'm not your mother, father, but you know, we don't want a DWI. Stay at home, write the review. Okay, Mr. Wells. He wrote a good review. Another student before we get into the list here said, Mr. Welsh, a young woman a couple years ago, you know, there's this new lipstick out. This new lipstick called Moonrise over Detroit. She said it's kind of a gray in color. Moonrise over Detroit lipstick. Can I review it? I said, oh yes. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You got to think of the criteria of what to judge it on. And if you know a thing or two about lipsticks, you can do it. But class, here's the thing. I don't want to read a plagiarized review. I've had that happen over the years. The consequences are dire. Because I can tell immediately if someone has pulled something off, you know, RollingStone.com or the NewYorkTimes.com or the ElPasoTimes.com or the HoustonChronicle.com or once again RapPages.com or Maximum Rock and Roll, you know, all these things. Car and Driver, Road and Track, The New Yorker, Esquire, Marie Claire, Mademoiselle, Cosmopolitan. You got to write it yourself from your own point of view. Class, so do that. Do that, whatever it is. I had a student one time say, Mr. Welsh, I'm getting ready to buy a used car. I need to take it out and test drive it today. Could I write my review about that used car that I'm going to test drive? I said, yes. Let me know. 700 to 1,000 words. Very good. So in addition, class, on this one of the handouts that I gave you, says write an assignment. For this assignment, write a review. So you can pick something that you already know a lot about or dive into something new that you know nothing about. It makes no difference because you'll be learning about it in the review process. So what are some of the things that you could do? Class, it says here, could you do this? A live performance? Yes. Attend a musical concert? Yes. You could go to a concert tonight or in the next day or so. Take pen and paper and review it. Could you review a play? Yes. Could you go to a club? Excuse me, yes. Could you write a review of the performance? Yes. Of a live band. Or you could stream a concert, right, and write a review of it, right? Television program. Could you do a review of a television program? Yes. Watch a couple episodes. Let me know. Good or bad or what? You make the judgment on what? You come up with the criteria. A radio show. Yeah, you could sit down. Satellite radio, FM radio, AM radio. I love the radio. Sit down and listen to a show. Couple of episodes. Let us know once again. Is it a good radio show or program to listen to? Music radio could be. Talk show. Let us know some background. You can review it. Class, could you write a movie review for us? Yes. What would be the criteria for judging a movie? Story. So the plot. Acting. Take it apart. Let us know. Filming or cinematography. Soundtrack. Sets. Boom. 700,000 words. Movie review. Class, could you do a musical recording? Yes. It could be something old. Could be something new. Doesn't have to be anything I know about. There's a lot I don't know about. A lot. But then there are a lot of things I do know about. I don't care what genre it is. Classical music, yes. Recording of an album. Blues album, yes. Jazz album, yes. Dub album, yes. Reggaeton, yes. Cumbias, yes. Norteños, yes. Rap, yes. Hip hop, yes. Rock and roll, yes. Punk rock, yes. Ambient music, yes. Ambient dub house music, yes. German or Nordic jazz, yes. Death metal, yes. Heavy metal, yes. House music, yes. EDM music, yes. Those are some of the categories. I'll read it. Psychedelic album, yes. Old school, yeah. You could do those. Class, you could write a review of an internet site. Let us know. You could even say review epcc.edu. Get on there. Let me know what you think about it. Is the content good? Are the visuals good? Is the flow good? What's not so good? So any website. Class, could you write a review, excuse me, of a local museum? Yes. On or off campus, excuse me. An art show, yes. Historical museum, yes. Go and spend a couple hours review an art exhibit. Books, could you write a book review? Yes. Some new book, absolutely. Some old book, absolutely. Let us know. Class, it says here sports. The only way I want you to do is sports is if you're going to review an actual game. And let me know. Say there's going to be a game on TV or a fight. If you know about the fights, you could review it. If you know about UFC, you could review it. If it's a baseball game, I think they're in the playoffs now, you could review it. Let me know. Good game, bad game. Class, and then it says here, make it real simple. Leisure and entertainment. Class, you could do a restaurant review. It's fantastic. Do it. Make the assignment simple. Make the assignment simple. Go to a restaurant. The type of restaurant where you sit down and you have service. You have service. And then what would you evaluate a restaurant on? The food. Take it apart. Let me know. 60% of the review is going to be on food. That's one of your standards. Number 2, service. Details. How was the service? Let us know as readers. Food. Take it apart. If it's a steak restaurant, I want to taste that steak. If there's a baked potato on the side, I want to know about that baked potato. If there's a vegetable there, I want to know about that vegetable. If you're going to a Mexican restaurant, you get a plate of enchiladas. A lot of you know about enchiladas. Some do, some don't. I've been eating them my whole life. Still love them. Eating them a lot in Los Angeles. It was a different sort of enchilada there. I've eaten them before down in Houston where I used to work as a waiter. A little bit of a different enchilada there. I've eaten a lot of enchiladas in El Paso, Texas. And some in Juarez in Mexico. My adopted home, El Paso. Some good enchiladas here. My wife's a good critique of enchiladas. She grew up here. You know, she's La Reina, the queen. Married a local El Pasoan. Class, I want to know about that enchilada. I want to know about the red sauce. I want to know about the refritos. I want to know about the chips and salsa. Restaurant review. Food, service. Tell us about the service. Was it good? Was it pleasing? And then the environment of the restaurant. Class, could be one of your criterias. How clean is it? What's on the walls? What music is playing? Did you feel happy there? Did you wish something would be different? And then I'd always take a trip. It's not a huge detail, but I'd mention it. Go to the bathroom. Tell us how clean the bathrooms are. Class, if a restaurant's got a disgusting bathroom, chances are the kitchen's disgusting too. I know about these things. I'm not a brilliant man, but I have worked as a waiter. As a young man, even not that young of a man, in Los Angeles and in Houston, at a Tex-Mex restaurant, in Los Angeles, at an old school wild diner that's still open when I was trying to put some money in my pocket. I need to make money. I'm not rich. I've had to work my whole life. Restaurant review, food, service, environment, cleanliness, 700,000 words. There's your review. Class, it says here, could you do a review of a historical place? Yeah. Go to a local park. Go to the McGoffin home. Go to Concordia Cemetery. Write a review. Let us know if it's good. If you want, these are all possibilities for your review. Then it says here, class, some things I want to amend. Education, no. I don't want you doing an education review. Please. I'll talk about some other things. No. Letters of recommendation, no. Politics in the public sphere, no. Rating systems, no. Greatest or best list, no. Paired reviews, no. But everything else I just talked about, yes. Okay. I had a student one time say that she wanted to write a review of Forever 21. And that's a shop. I think it's still open. May not be. In the mall. I know there was one at Cielo Vista Mall for a long time. And some other ones in town. I think the one in the Sunland Park Mall closed. Forever 21. Right? What an ideal, I guess. And the question that always went through my head is, would someone want to be Forever 21? Not me. But once again, a trippy name for a store. She wrote a good review. She got in there. She told me about the quality of the clothes. So, any of the things I just mentioned, lipstick, beer, a review. Hey, check this out. Halloween's coming up. You could review especially if it's going to go down in the next couple days, a Halloween party, right? You're going out dancing the next couple days. If you do something like that, review the club. Class, review the Halloween party. Take notes. Stay focused. Stay on track. Stay focused. Stay on track. So that's it, class. That's the review essay. All right. I look forward to grading these when they come in. Class, as you can see, what I'm continuing to do is I've been grading 7 days a week, all semester long, and I'll continue with that. I've gotten through a lot of profile essays, and I just keep circling back every day. I'm grading 7 days a week, giving every student the utmost attention. When students need to make adjustments, I'm expecting they make those adjustments and get the work back to me. Once again, I've read some really good work this semester. Remember, class, the drop date, November 10th. We already talked about that. And remember the deadline dates here for your, once again, your profile essay. Let's go back over the course policies and calendar. We'll wrap up here. 11918, 11923, and 11934. My 9, 10, and 11 classes, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at the community college in class. Deadline, the 4th, for turning it in. First draft, first draft, final draft, writing center verification. Remember, class, it says on my syllabus, I don't accept late work, but I end up accepting it 1 letter grade down for each day that it's late, right? So if you had an essay due on, say, a Monday, if you get it to me, send it to me through Blackboard messages on a Tuesday, 1 day late. Means it starts off as a B. You send that to me Wednesday, 2 days late. Starts off as a C. 3 days late, it starts off as a D. 4 days late, the essay starts off as an F. Okay? Those are my policies I've used for decades, both at the community college and when I taught at UTEP. It's worked flawlessly over the years. Remember, that's the difference between college and high school. High school is over. College, we take care of business, and we take responsibility for our own work and for our own lives. And class, once again, I've read some good work this semester, okay? So, class, very good. The review essay, I look forward once again to getting those in, to reading those when the time is. I look forward to once again continuing to work with students. What's going to happen is before the drop date, I will set up, certainly, because I need to do it, I'll set up a live over the Transom meeting where we can spend some time. Any questions that you have, we can get out the grade book. It'll be available for everyone, before the drop date, where I'll go live, all right, through Blackboard Collaborate, and we can have a live session, and any outstanding questions that you have, you can, I'll answer them. Class, with that said, here's wishing you the very best. Good luck as you continue your journey this semester as we move through English 1301. Put my notes away here, class, that I have for you. Here's hoping, once again, class, that you remain safe and well. And one other thing, I think I've covered. Let me make sure I've covered everything here in my notes that we're supposed to do today. Let's see. Yeah, I took care of that. I took care. Let me check one more place. I think we have everything taken care of here. Let me make sure that that's the situation, and we do. All right. I took care of everything I need to. Class, with that said, have a great afternoon. Once again, be kind to yourself. Be good to yourself in your continuing journey here at the community college. And with that said, I'll leave you as the Irish always like to tell people in Ireland. They tell them good luck, good luck, good luck. So I'm wishing you good luck in class. Have a great week, what's left of it, and into next week. All the best now. Take care.